Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban.
Aw, come on.
Dire team pick.
Shadow Demon.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Vengeful spirit.
The Undying waits.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5.
Dark Seer.
All right, here we are, Game
Radiant
3 between
team
Cloud9 and Vega Squadron. We're going to catch you up right in the middle of this draft. We see Cloud9, they've banned out the Sword Art as well as the Earth Spirit, pick up Shadow Demon, Darkseer, and then for Vega Squadron, they ban out the Luna and the Meepo. Meepo finally banned out, and they pick up the Venge as well as the Undying. This is Game 3, both teams 1 apiece. Winner, they qualify. Loser, they go home. Oh, let's take a look at this draft. I'm your caster, B-Cop, here with CC and C. What do you think so far?
Vega gave off they're ready to play real Dota now.
Don't want to be up against that Meepo.
Yeah, if first take the Venge. I think Cloud9 typically first picks Venge if it's not banned, so maybe sort of a block pick. I think Vega also thinks that here is decently strong and then taking the Undying as well, so the makings for a very, very strong aggressive lane, and Cloud9 taking the Darkseer in the first phase. So if they do expect that to be an aggressive dual lane, they can put that Darkseer in the off lane in a 1v1, and then we'll beat basically every offlaner in a 1v1. So gives them a good laning start. If they do lose that safe lane, then at least they've had a very good start in their 1v1. So the Darkseer can make some space and get a very quick mech, and they can take some fights even while behind. So I like this Darkseer return because I think it was Shadow Demon first, then those two, and then Darkseer. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
10 seconds remaining.
That was exactly what it was. And you see that now Earth Spirit, Ember Spirit both banned out. Cloud9, they don't want to play Vega's game anymore. They want to force them into a different draft.
Reserve time.
Yeah, Vega banning out the Jug. For all of these games, it's been a few of the heroes that were picked the previous game that were banned. Second game, they banned out, what was it? They banned out the Undying in the second phase. They banned another one of the heroes that was picked. Sort of tweaking the draft each game based on the previous one and things. This is annoying. I don't want to play against this. This draft, we see Cloud9 banning out the Earth Spirit. So saying, oh, Sneeko, you're too good at that hero. I don't want to play versus it. And obviously Vega banning out the Meepo, sick of playing versus that obnoxious hero. Farms so fast, it makes the game super weird to play. A very specific way to deal with it.
Dire team ban.
So we get the ban of Juggernaut and Mirana. The Baby Knight's Jug gonna get banned out. Ace, he's gonna have to switch it up, not being on that Meepo anymore. Still Cloud9, they ban out that Tinker, and we get into the second phase of picks with Vega already going with the Venge and Undying. Is there something specific you kind of want to see from Vega or Cloud9 to come out that you haven't seen already?
10 seconds remaining.
Not necessarily. I think a G-Quap would be cool. I don't know if it'll work in the game. It looks like they've got some serious 5-man draft going on right now. They may look for an OD mid for Vega. They have obviously a lot of early game that's looking to be an extremely strong aggressive tri-lane, so just carry Venge. Maybe looking for more of a farming oriented mid.
10 seconds remaining.
Someone that scales well along with his
5
Venge.
seconds
Venge not typically known for being more of a single core type of hero. You'll have to see what
Reserve
Cloud9
time.
picks to sort of decide the rest of these heroes, but Vega definitely wants to get a super aggressive very early on. Curious to see they pick to match up against the StarSeries. It looks like it is going to be a try versus try with a 1v1 in the offlane, so we'll see.
With Dazzle being picked up by Vega, do we see a Huskar come out? Maybe Venge not going to be in the safe lane. Maybe they go Drow Huskar with the next two picks. I mean, that's just a wild guess, but is that something we might see with Dazzle and Venge here?
Maybe Huskar is like a very small chance. Vega does have the last pick, so maybe they could for their 10th pick. Ogre, not great versus Huskar. So we'll see. It's a possibility. I think Cloud9 may ban it out in the 10th ban if Vega hasn't picked their mid by then. I think they'll most probably pick their offlaner here, and they will pick their mid last. So I think that there is a possibility they go for a Huskar. But I think they'll pick a traditional offlaner here and not do some sort of offlane Undying, support Venge, Drow, Huskar. I think that's pretty unlikely and very, very all in. Not really what you want to do. Is you typically like to have drafts that have a lot of win conditions, a lot of stages of the game where they're strong, a lot of ways they can, take fights, win the game, as opposed to just one all-in strategy. Is it tends to be very, very risky. You misplay just a little bit one time, and then your win condition is completely missed. It's basically unwinnable. Not a great way to play Dota.
Right, so we see Darkseer on Cloud9. Obviously Vega, they had the Darkseer in a previous game, and they picked that up with a Sven, get in there, Vacuum Wall, Stormhammer, God's Strength, etc. The Ogre Magi, Bloodlust, and the Vacuum Wall possibilities. Do we see C9 possibly copy Vega, that Sven being paired up with the Darkseer?
Dire team pick.
I think it's pretty unlikely. It's really terrible versus ranged form Lone Druid, if that's what that is. Most melee carries are absolutely awful versus it, as you just get super kited by the Lone Druid's ridiculous range at level 10. With the
10
Dragon Lance
seconds
as well,
remaining.
you get rooted, roared away, Undying, Venge, both decent at
5
kiting as
seconds
well.
remaining.
The Dazzle gives the team a lot of armor, saying pretty unlikely to go for the Sven.
Reserve time.
They may pick some sort of AoE damage for their mid hero, or just have a run-at-you hero in their safe lane or their mid, and just play around the Ion Shell, not so much around this Vacuum Wall combo, as their supports are very core buffing oriented. They have Disruption, they have the Bloodlust, so probably looking to pick a more right-clicking oriented core for. Okay, so they do go for the OD.
Radiant team ban.
Does quite well versus the Dazzle and Undying, and the Venge doesn't really care about having his damage nerf, doesn't really care about his armor, or the other team having a lot of armor. Scales quite well, benefits a lot from the Bloodlust, very good in team fights,
10
and also
seconds remaining.
extremely good versus the Lone Druid, because he buys a Dragon Lance,
5
Hurricane Pike
seconds
typically, so can
remaining.
actually hit the Lone Druid, while he has that super long range, and also the Lone Druid having one of the
Reserve
worst
time.
int gains in the game, so can just one-shot him with his ult at most
10
stages of the
seconds
game.
remaining.
I really like this pickup. It's a scaling core that also does very
5
well versus
seconds
both the
remaining.
cores of Vega, and doesn't really care
Dire
about
team
the
ban.
strengths of their supports too much, and can also hit Tombstone quite well.
Vega, they fought similar to me. I don't know why they do that, but they ban out the Sven. And C9, they're here to come in with their last ban. What do you think
10
with both
seconds
these
remaining.
drafts? Any last picks that are probably going to come out, or
5
scenario for
seconds
each team?
remaining.
I don't know.
Reserve
I
time.
mean, it's probably the safe liner for Cloud9. Baby Knight almost always plays this OD, so it's typically probably going to be OD mid. I would assume mid Lone Druid could also
Dire
be
team
a
pick.
safe lane solo Lone Druid against this Darkseer. Actually matches up pretty decently, so that could be what it is. They're going to pick up mid here. Their last pick for Vega. Lone Druid also matches up quite well versus OD in the lane, so we'll have to see where they choose to lane this Lone Druid. That sort of
10
depends,
seconds
or that's sort
remaining.
of going to decide where they what they pick for their last tier on where they want to lane
5
this.
seconds remaining.
Cloud9 has to pick first, so Vega does have the last draw, gonna be able to get a good matchup in one of their
Reserve
lanes,
time.
one of the last lanes, because they do have the fortune of having the last pick. So let's see what Cloud9 goes for. They probably need a safe laner. Okay, so they go for the Weaver.
Radiant
Very
team
mobile.
pick.
Only one stalled on Vega so far, and that's the Venge. Okay, so they are gonna do the safe lane solo 100 against the Darkseer, so it's gonna be a 1v1 probably, and then try retry. Weaver a very good tri lane hero. The bug's extremely good, a lot of damage. You know, as we said, no stuns on Vega except for the magic missile, which is extremely inconsistent. So very hard for them to deal with this Weaver if he does get some items up. Puck sort of helps deal with that. I think still the Weaver a very good pick.
So we've got Shadow Demon, Darkseer, Ogre Magi, OD, Weaver for the side of Cloud9, Vega Squadron. They're going to pick up the Venge, Undying, Dazzle, Lone Druid, and Puck. I mean, I kind of want to ask you how you think it's going to go, but after last game, I mean, we saw anything can happen, but I guess I'll ask
10
anyway. How do you
seconds
think this is going to go?
I think a lot of this game comes down to how the
5
lanes go.
seconds remaining.
And some of these early fights, both teams very, very good at early fighting. I would say that Cloud9 scales better late game as they have the Bloodlust on top of both these cores that scale quite well versus VP's or versus Vega's cores. So I would say Vega definitely has the pressure on them to do well in this aggressive tri lane to get an early lead. Mag probably going to go for that range form build, and G playing more of the Space Maker and the tempo controller this game instead of Mag. So Mag going to be playing more of that farming role. Yeah, so we'll just have to see how this early game goes. The Undying and the Dazzle, you know, they can win these team fights, win the early engagements, and sort of snowball ahead.
We take a look at, during this pause, who's on what. We see Sima on the Dazzle. Playing this Undying is going to be Seneko. Ditya on the Venge. Mag going to be on the Lone Druid. G on this Puck for the other side. Cloud9. We see Rise is back on the Shadow Demon. Hesta Joe on the Darkseer. Ace with the Weaver. Noya on the Ogre Magi. And then finally, Baby Knight on the OD. So Ace, he was mid last game with the Meepo, but with the Weaver, I don't suspect him to be mid. Probably going to throw him in the top role, and then Baby Knight looks as though he's going to go mid with the OD. So they're kind of switching it up a little bit. Too uncommon, but game 2 they did win with Meepo being put by Ace mid. So we'll have to see how it goes now that they're moving around a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. They do switch around their roles quite a bit. Baby Knight and Ace pretty flexible, switching heroes and roles like you said, based on the game. So a very good thing to have in a team is makes your drafting and your laning considerably more unpredictable. As we can see, Sima TP's in and gets a really deep ward. Not a ward that's typically de-warded, so we'll see if they catch it. And Cloud9 getting a lane ward as well. So looks like it's setting up for this aggressive lane.
I was actually surprised because, you know, we were just last game talking about how C9 always ward on this little cliff right here by the stairs, and then, you know, Noya goes over, wards over by the lane, and we don't get that cliff ward like we say happens just about every time from C9.
Yeah, I think most of the time they ward there, they're on Radiance, and it's whenever they want to go aggressive, they have at least a dual lane, so they can see people rotating over if they're wrapping behind them, going to the rune, and just sort of keep tabs on what's happening in this lane they're playing aggressively in. And since they are on Dire and they're just putting the Darkseer up there, it looks like, they didn't really need to. So it didn't really do so much. Hesta Joe runs up to top. So it looks they are going to try and dodge this lane. We'll see if Vega realizes that and dodges back the other way. They see the OD down bottom, but I don't think they saw the other heroes. So see if Vega tries to catch them back and make sure they get this try, or if they just deal with playing versus the Darkseer.
What is going to be G mid on this puck? We take a look up top. Dityara in the off lane this time around on the Venge. Kima on the Dazzle coming around, and Seneko actually mid with this Undying for now, as Noya is here with Baby Knight on the Ogre Magi and OD respectively. To look down low, it is that solo Mag on the Lone Druid up against Rise and Ace on the Shadow Demon and Weaver respectively. So these lanes not typical in these lanes. You know, we saw Dityara in the safe lane every game thus far, and he's now moved his way over into the off lane on this Venge. So it's a little bit different for both sides. We see Baby Knight mid. We'll definitely have to see how it works out for both sides.
Yeah, for sure.
Here. Double decay. They are going to get the Astro Imprisonment on to this puck. She might be looking for a kill with that Illusory Orb if he does go deep on Baby Knight. Seneco's still going balls deep here, right on the tower. Does get the decay again on Baby Knight. He's stolen himself 24 on that strength, so survivable up against this Ignite, as well as everything that's getting thrown at him from Noya and Baby Knight. Another 2-man decay, making this very hard for C9 right now. Baby Knight, 320 max health.
Yeah, he's gonna go Shrine as well. So immediately come back to the lane and continue spamming out those decays. Undying, one of the few heroes that can actually match hits, match harass with the Ogre, so just sort of this big bruiser harass war is Mag maybe going down bottom to Disruption.
Go look down low. Mag in a little bit of trouble at about half health. We take another look over mid. Seneko and G. They're still pushing it up top. You get the Illusory Orb out on Baby Knight. Gonna use that phase shift to avoid that auto attack. Seneko still just here with the decay, just about level 2, and he's looking over to grab this double damage, which might show to be some trouble for Cloud9, especially when they keep getting hit by those decays.
Yeah, so far it looks like Vega, like we said they needed to, is having a very, very good start in these lanes. Mag doing quite well versus Weaver. And this 1v2 down bottom, Shadow Demon not really a hero that can deal with this Lone Druid so much, and power of last hitting with the bear, and the hero doing very, very well in this lane. Dityara having free farm up in top, and the Puck Undying also doing very well versus Baby Knights and Noya on the OD and Ogre. So they're having a good start in these lanes. Definitely happy with how the early game has gone so far.
Top 3 on the last hits chart. Venge, Puck, Lone Druid respectively doing pretty well, and Seneko just being a huge nuisance in this mid lane, constantly hitting decays here, and in the face of Cloud9. Noya gonna try and man fight Seneko a little bit. I'm not exactly sure that's really what you want to do. Seneko only with 8 on the stolen strength, so not too crazy, but does grab 2 again there. And maybe Noya might be in a little bit of trouble. G might go in deep once this Illusory Orb is off cooldown, but Noya's going to get behind those trees, and G's going to eat a couple of pot shots from that tower, which should back him off.
Yeah, they are going on Mag bottom. Undying cancels his TP, but Dazzle comes on the bottom now, so leaving Dityara on top solo versus this the versus
Nico might die to
Darkseer.
the tower. He's going to eat that Fairy Fire. Not going to be enough. Noya will get credit for the first blood. A little anticlimactic on the first blood after all that harass from each side. Dying the tower. But 1-0 nonetheless for Cloud9. They grab themselves quite a bit of gold on that one for Noya.
Yep. Vega continuing to do well in these lanes, giving the Vengeful Spirit a head start in this top lane, having a full level advantage onto the Darkseer so we can actually try and handle him. Has the treads up now, so able to kill these Ion Shield creeps considerably quicker.
And comes out on Seema as well as the Soul Catcher. Seema's going to be down to about half health, can just heal himself back up, but getting harassed out pretty well, and there's Ace with the Shrine, so going to be back at full health and HP. Moving towards bottom, and they are actually getting a rotation in from Noya, so they might want to go in on this Lone Druid before Mag really gets himself some early farm. Are going to smoke 3 down low. Ace, Rise, Noya, they're making their way down low.
Dire's bottom tower
On their way
is under
downtown.
attack.
Oh.
There's the Shikuchi, and Mag might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the Ignite coming in from Noya. Bear a little bit low. He might be in a little bit of trouble. Ace going to come in again with the Shikuchi. Rises right around the corner.
Jukes.
And Mag juking out pretty well. Sima is here. There's the disruption. They slow it down for just a moment. Rise getting pretty low. He's at about half health. Mag trying to do something, but there's the Shikuchi from Ace, and it will be another kill going the way of C9.
Yeah, it was actually perfect timing. Right as Mag used his phase boost, they disrupted him, so they were able to block him in the trees. If they hadn't done it right then, it may have phased through. So really nice timing from Rise. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but if he hadn't done it just right then he may have lived if he had squeezed past the Weaver.
Mag. He's back. Phase boots. He does get this root on Ace. Ace might be in a little bit of trouble. Wow. Okay.
On first hit root.
Sima's just gonna come in, snipe that kill away from Mag. Say your RNG is not worth it. That kill right from you.
Yeah, it's definitely the kind of start you want to have in a launch route. Not a hero that deals well at all with having a bad laning start. And they realize that this Weaver's just not getting enough down here. Only the Basti, the Wand, and the boots already. Mag having the phase boots, 300 gold on top of it. So gonna rotate Darkseer down here as well. Darkseer having a really poor time up top. So Cloud9 trying to switch things up, maybe get a kill into Jiraiya.
Rise and Ace up top. There's the disruption coming through on Tigara on the Venge. They're gonna try and find themselves a kill. The magic missile does come out on Ace. Ace gonna use the Shikuchi to move on forward. Sima is here just in case they want to try and turn it around on Ace. There's the poison touch as well. Saneko here with the decay. Rise is gonna get very low. He'll fall first. In this engagement up top between C9 and Vega, Saneko, Ditya, and Sima are all here, and Ditya does survive. When it looked, it was as though he was dead to rights, but rotations out from both the Dazzle and the Undying keeps him alive, and they do end up turning it around, as well as getting a kill on Hesta Joe down low as G, with the Dream Coil, finds another one on Hesta Joe. So Baby Knight right here up with G, and they might be able to find themselves a kill. There's the Astral Imprisonment. Noya does have Fire Blast as well as the Ignite and Bloodlust. They'll just use the Fire Blast, and Baby Knight will find a kill on G, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. They lose their Darkseer, but do get the return kill on G. Now 3-3, and that's a bit of gold going the way of C9. We'll switch it over to the net worth, take our first look at the graph, and it's 2,000 in favor of Vega in both the XP and the net worth.
Yeah, it was pretty unfortunate for G. Had got pathing a little bit, was trying to walk through the trees, and the OD was right there, so got blocked, tried to orb away, but right as the orb got astraled, so wasn't able to jaunt away, and gets run down and killed us with no orb to jaunt to, and the initial astral damage kills him off, so.
Noya trying to go in on Mag with the Ignite, does bring Mag a little bit low, but he does have this shrine right next to him. Noya still sticking very close. Noya wants to be in the vicinity now that this Lone Druid is healed back up to full. Baby Knight made up against G. Coming around is Saneko with the decay. There's the Astral Imprisonment out on G. Like that engagement will just be over.
I do get a Sentry up top for Ditcha, so able to keep him up here, still soloing and still top of the network charts, so giving him a little bit of a head start and then sort of leaving him in this top lane, continuing to do very, very well versus Weaver. And Shadow Demon looks like he's going to port Saneko off, maybe have a fight here.
And there's the disruption again, but Saneko, he's right there ready to go with that decay.
Ag continuing to farm up, has that Aquila now, so phase Aquila on the Lone Druid. Almost level 10, so gonna have that plus 200 attack range. So much attack range for a level 10 talent. Noya wraps around mid as well, so he uses his orb, then maybe able to threaten a kill here and get Baby Knight sort of back into this game, although he's mostly caught up on the pocket. Get this kill will be really nice for him as well.
Oh, I missed the kill on Hesta Joe down low. I was looking mid and thought maybe Noya would go in before something happened down low. We missed the kill on Hesta Joe. There's the Astral Imprisonment on G. G at about half health. Saneko is here, does get the decay. There's the Dream Coil. They do drop the Tombstone. Baby Knight gonna try and get rid of this Tombstone. There's the Waning Rift, and coming in with the Illusory Orb is G, and they will find that kill on Baby Knight.
Very nice rotation from Saneko. Baby Knight pushed up pretty far in the lane, all the way up to G's hill, so he gets the coil down. kills the OD, and another nice
Here's
kill for them,
another
but not really
disruption.
getting much off of it still.
D-Rod just going to try and TP out. Just a little bit of health left, and will successfully do so. Ace and Rise really harassing D-Rod with that disruption, as well as the
Radiant's
Swarm.
top tower is under attack.
Yep, so Vega getting some kills here and there. So
I am
trading
moving
kills
in
back
on
and forth,
G.
but not really any objectives going down. Not many of the towers low in HP at all. Bottom tower probably the lowest for Radiance, but other than that, just a lot of back and forth kills. People casually farming in lanes as much as they can. And Ditya has had enough of being left alone top. Is going to run down the bottom, maybe look for a kill and has to Joe and pressure the tower. Also, Nico goes top to defend this because he really wasn't getting much farm. And yeah, they smoke up, going to try and make a move happen. I really like this from Ditya, getting his level 4 stun and going to make something happen. He is really one of the only heroes on his team that has the capability to make a play like this.
As to Joe, going to try and surge his way to freedom right into the hands of Ditya. There's the magic missile, as well as the swap with the poison touch. The Bear's going to get that root. First hit root again. I haven't seen this kind of lucky RNG. Faceless Void in the international with the bashes. No first hit root. You'll take it. We're not going to take it. And Ditya, Seema, and Mag combined for a kill on Hesta Joe down low.
Yeah, I think he was dead regardless, but sort of salt in the wound, the classic, dude, he root me.
Dire's structures are
As they do
fortified.
start taking on this tower, having level 4 and Bayer, as well as the this Rapid, so getting the extra building damage, forcing Hesta Joe to TP back down here, as well as Noya. Olay wail on top a little bit, but Undying is here, defending this tower. GTP's in, so it looks like
from G. He's going to get that waning rift. Rise is just going to try and TP out. The decay comes in, as well as the illusory orb thrown by G. They will find a kill on Rise, who was close to TPing out. Meanwhile, Noya will fall down low. There is a wall used. And they've lost 2 on the side of Cloud9. It's now 8-3, and they are going to lose Seema to Baby Knight. The vacuum comes back in. Hesta Joe and Baby Knight are here. There's the surge out on Baby Knight. He's trying to move on forward, trying to find something, and Mag's going to be just out of range of Baby Knight to get that Astral Imprisonment down.
yep, another quick kill on Dazzle. Like I said before, just sort of trading kills back and forth. Both teams defending their towers very hard. Does it say that our Dire mid tower taking a fair amount of damage and diving back here.
Very
They
deep
have the
is
yellow
Baby
spot
Knight.
him.
Ditya here with Sineko. There's the magic missile with the tombstone. He's going to have to Astral Imprison himself. The weave comes out from Seema. They turn it around just a little bit. They're looking towards Baby Knight. Sineko gets very low, but Ditya will get the kill on Baby Knight as Baby Knight goes a little bit too far. Meanwhile, Hesta Joe, he's in a bit of trouble, and he'll fall to Mag.
Almost the Dragonlance now as well on Mag, so gonna have the super attack range very, very soon, and gonna be able to kite this OD quite easily, as the OD very farmed so far in this game. Level 9, working on the Force Staff, really close to the Hurricane fight yet, so Mag in a very, very commanding position. G almost the Blink Dagger as well, so Vega's team fight is about to come online with that
They're coming in with Baby Knight and Rise. There's the disruption out on Ditya. The weave does hit. There's the swap back, and Seema's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Ditya is trying to TP out and doesn't, as Rise gets credit for the kill, and now Seema, he's surrounded by the entire side of C9. He'll fall as well. And the rotations come out from Cloud9, and they get a couple of kills on the retreat of Vega. Maybe not something they wanted to give up, but it is Dazzle, which isn't too bad, but it's Ditya who's going to fall as well.
Yeah, so Baby Knight taking advantage of that time where Puck's low on mana. He's trying to finish up his Blink Dagger, maybe spawning that, just forcing Mag back. So they are going to trade towers. Vega heading to mid immediately after to make sure they don't lose completely out on that trade, but definitely happy with that. Cloud9 is Ace picking up the HOD now as well, so has the HP creep. Also gives a little bit of mana, so giving this Weaver basically infinite Shikuchi spam because of this HOD creep gives us tankiness against a lot of the Puck's nukes, the Venge stun. So overall, just a very, very good item this patch, as well as the HP aura for all of the early fights that are going to be happening in this game. Really wants to have whatever he can to bolster his team's early skirmishing and fighting ability.
Vega, they're going to try and sneak this Roche while Cloud9 are down here trying to take a tier 2. This is a solid move by Vega as they maybe feeling a little bit of trouble in these team fights after the last engagement, but with Aegis they should feel a little bit more confident going into the next engagement or two.
Yeah. They do TP a couple of heroes down bottom. They want to look for a fight here as G is an Invis rune is moving down as well with the blink. Boy and Rise both pretty clumped up and see if you can find a two-man coil, but the team's kind of far away, so don't know if they'll have enough backup to take them down.
He's gonna walk right into Rise, and Noya is just gonna use that Dream Coil as well as the Illusory Orb and the Waning Rift, and will have enough to bring Rise to his demise. He gets himself a kill, maybe thought he wanted the Dream Coil on both Rise and Noya, but just gonna settle for getting the kill on Rise. And they will head towards mid. Ace is here up against Mag. They might want to fight a little bit. Mag gonna try and run away. Ace going in with the Shikuchi. Still moving on forward, but Ditya is here. They might want to turn this around. If you're the side of Vega, there's the Centaur. Stop. Ace in a bit of trouble. He'll go down to Ditya. So getting a little bit too aggressive there is Ace on this Weaver, thinking that maybe he can find himself a kill on Mag, but coming around the bend is Ditya. Does get that Centaur stomp on Ace, as well as the Magic Missile and the kill, which is very beneficial for the side of Vega.
Yep, very, very nice play from Ditya. A little bit fortunate as well, getting that Centaur creep, but walks it over, gets the perfect timing on the stun, and gets him just in time before you get that time lets off.
Ooh, there's the swap into the Centaur Stomp. There's the Decay. Hesta Joe might be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get hit by that Magic Missile as well as the Wave of Terror. He's going to fall to Ditya. Ditya, though, is going to get his Aegis popped. They're turning around on C9. Ace is coming in. Seaman's going to get that Weave out, and now feared up is Ace. Ace might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the Time Lapse as well as the Magic Missile. He's going to get rooted up as well. Here comes the Sanity's Eclipse from Baby Knight, but not really doing too much. Baby Knight might be a little bit of trouble. He's pushed himself a little bit too far forward. Ditya getting very low. There's the Sword coming in from Seneko, not going to be enough to save the life of Ditya, and hitting away at Mag is Baby Knight. G's got himself a kill. There's the Dream Coil coming out on Baby Knight. There's 3 dead already on the side of C9, and rooted up again is Baby Knight as he falls to Seneko, and 3 will fall on Cloud9, and they will only lose Ditya twice.
Yeah, as we can see, Vega playing around this range from Lone Druid super well. Almost as a Desto now as well, so not going for the typical Maelstrom, but going for more of that heavy right click, combined with the Venge and the Minus Armor from the Dazzle. Is going to be a ton of damage, going to be shredding through some of these low armor heroes like Odie and Weaver, as well as Shadow Demon. So a little bit of a nuanced build there, but yeah, with the Dazzle and the Undying, a lot of heroes with some serious AoE, a lot of a protecting ability, keeping the Soldier alive and keeping him in the fight, constantly right-clicking and just murdering these heroes. The OD's armor super low there and just gets 4 or 5 shot by this Lone Druid, only with a Dragon Lance at the time. So Tag playing very well this game, 5-1 and 6, and almost with the Desto online, 800 gold away as Rise getting shredded at top.
Yeah, I was gonna say shredded. He's getting ripped apart by Mag, and an easy solo kill for him. Timo was there, but you know, Mag didn't really need too much help. Gets an easy kill on Rise. Should be a nice tier 1. Meanwhile, down at this shrine, Hesta Joe trying to go in on G. There's the Bloodlust to try and speed up Noya so he can get the Fire Blast in on G. G's gonna get hit by this Satyr. And now G might be in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't get that phase shift with the Waning Rift, but the Illusory Orb not far enough away in time, and Ace and Noya will get the kill on G.
A little bit of a mistake there. Maybe he could have thrown the orb out and then phase shifted afterward. Maybe would have been able to live. Would have been close. Maybe delayed things a little bit, but probably still would have gone down. So nice rotation from Cloud9, getting that kill there. And gonna get the tier 2 tower off of it, but they do lose their top tier 2 tower. Mag does have the Desto now, so totally annihilates buildings. So much building damage between the bare extra building damage as well as the Desto. So Vega, we said they needed to have a good early game, and they have had that so far, doing very well right now. It's most of their cores sitting above most of the cores of Cloud9. Baby Knight, sort of the converse of the past 2 games, sort of the shining hope for Cloud9 right now with the Hurricane Pike as well as the Blink Dagger already. So pretty good spot on the OD.
We take a look over Mag. He's got that Desolator and Dragon Lance. And Kung Fu Panda, no, it's doing okay. All he's got to do is root, make himself worthwhile. You do see the smoke coming in from Vega. They're looking for a possible kill. Baby Knight walking right into their hands. There's the swap as well as the fear. There's the Magic Missile coming around with the Wave of Terror, and Ditya with another one. They're trying to grab this courier, but he gets hasted up and he'll run away. And it's another kill for Vega. They're up 18-8. Baby Knight, he's having an alright game. Just he really needs to find himself out of those positions. Meanwhile, G, he's going to use that Dream Coil out on Noya. And Noya's going to run out of it, get stunned up. He's going to fall to Seneko. We find another one for Vega. Vega as 5 are going to push down mid, look for this tier 2 and continue on forward, extending their lead just about 5,000 net worth.
Yeah, it was a really nice ward. They gave him the vision for that swap, so getting that deep ward a little bit earlier in the game lets him spot the OD. And Cloud9, Baby Knight definitely knows he was swapped from the low ground, and that does not happen unless you have vision. So probably gonna get that ward dewarded as soon as they
Rift
spawn.
comes
Are able
out
to
on
up.
Ace. Gonna be able to get out with the Shikuchi. Oops, swap in on Rise, and you're melted. Seema gonna get credit for that kill on Rise. Hit your rod just going in with that swap. Doesn't even need to use that magic missile, and now has it saved. Astro Imprisonment out on Dit Your Rod. They're still hitting away at this tier 3 tower mid. And C9, they're back on their heels. There's the Ignite as well as the Magic Missile. It's going to come out on Ace. He's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to use that time lapse. He's going to try and find himself away. He's going to get feared up with the Tombstone. Down there's the Vacuum Wall on a lot of heroes on the side of Vega, but still not nearly enough follow-up from the side of Cloud9. They do get the Sanity's Eclipse off, but still nobody dead on the side of Vega. As I get tongue-tied as everything gets dropped from the side of C9 as well as Vega. So coming in is Baby Knight. They're looking to kill this bear. Bear will fall, and Mag does have another bear, but he doesn't exactly need it.
Oh, nice dodge. Didn't dodge the Ignite with the Laundry ulti.
And Seneko in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get shallow graved up by Seema. The bear's going to come in, and I'm not too sure C9 really want to chase as everybody's still alive on the side of Vega Squadron. And a little bit of a taunt there. I'm pretty sure that's auto when you get out with that little health.
Yeah, they just barely get out there. Laundry getting his level 15, so getting the plus 65 damage as well. Pushing out 257 a pop, and has the Hurricane Pike now as well. So Mag getting very, very strong. And yeah, the OD used this fight, his ulti. Yeah, weren't really able to finish anyone off. Ace just not enough farm to really like go into these heroes. The Tombstone was up for a really long time. That fight had a huge impact. Just has a casual buckler on the Undying.
Trying to come in on Mag. There's the disruption. They do have Baby Knight on the back end. Mag might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the Soul Catcher. The Demonic Purge trying to find something, and there is the weave. Hit on Baby Knight and Hesta Joe. Dream Coil comes out on Baby Knight. Knight might be in a little bit of trouble. He's stunned up. There's the Waning Rift coming in from G. They're still trying to run him down. Baby Knight going to use that Astro Imprisonment, trying to save himself enough time to get that Hurricane Pike off cooldown as well as the Blink. It does get the Blink down to the low ground, still trying to come in with that Illusory Orb. Baby Knight trying to TP out, and Will with just 200 health. Ooh, so close. Baby Knight up against 4 of the heroes on the side of Vega, just barely escapes with his life.
Yeah, that was very, very fortunate. May have lost Rax there if he went down, but just barely escaped. Buys time for his team as well, so splitting up top lane. Ace is gonna get some more farm and maybe get to the point where he can actually have a big contribution in these fights, but as they do lose that last tier 2, gonna start losing their shrines and losing more and more map control.
Net worth, not as bad as we saw last game. Cloud9, they were down 20,000 net worth, only down about 6,000 now. Dit Your Rod trying to find a swap out on Ace, but here comes GG. He's got that Illusory Orb. Shikuchi out from Ace, and Noya gonna Delta split down to the river.
G actually going for the Aghanims this game, so gonna force Weaver and Odie to just sort of stay put. These 2 immobile cores. Well, Weaver not an immobile core, but cores that have no way to break this coil without getting the stun. So the extra stun duration, the extra damage, gonna put in a whole lot of impact, and also can't buy a BKB to just totally negate all of Puck's usefulness. So it's gonna like just let this Laundry continue to wail away, building all of this catch, all of this control, so that the Laundry can just do all this damage, especially with the Vengeance aura on Angel Spirits, giving him even more damage, up to 333 a hit.
They will grab this second shrine, and they will have to TP back, as maybe they think that C9 are in their jungle, and it wouldn't be wrong if they do make the rotation over there. Dit Your Rod leading the charge with that Alpha Wolf. They haven't spotted anybody out just yet, but Baby Knight and Hesta Joe will show themselves on the creeps down low. There's the swap back, and stunned up is Noya with the weave coming through, and Dit Your Rod grabs another one at 5 and 2. This opens up some space for the rest of Cloud9 to just kind of get out of harm's way.
Yeah, Sort of true to old Cloud9 form, just constantly pushing out these lanes, split pushing, and just trying to buy time into a stage where they actually can fight this Weaver. Working on what looks like a Mjolnir, so gonna buy Mjolnir to help him farm a lot faster as the Maelstrom now, so gonna get these lanes out considerably quicker. And like we said earlier, they don't really have ways to deal with this Weaver once he has some items, so if he can get up to this 5-6 slotted stage, will be extremely strong and hard to deal with. Mjolnir helps him do that considerably, so I like to pick up a lot instead of going for something like the Deso versus all this armor they have. Goes to the Mjolnir, works better versus their damage, and also helps them farm faster and scale better as the game goes later.
I'm going to place that deep ward on the high ground over towards where a shrine once stood. Did spot out Rise, not going to show himself as they know Roche is up, and now they have the vision to go after this second Aegis. Oh, Ace possibly looking to come in. They know he's there with the sentry ward. That dominated creep. Cloud9 now know that Vega might be going for Roche. Smoked up on the side of Cloud9. Ditya all by his lonesome. Might be in a little bit of trouble. Blinking in his Baby Knight. There's the Astral Imprisonment. Coming around the side is Vega. They do have the Tombstone already dropped. Ditya might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the vacuum over the wall. The Orb passes over two. Solar keeps him alive. There's the Sanity's Eclipse. Still nobody dead on either side just yet. There is the Shallow Grave kept up on Ditya. And it looks as though they've used the wall. They've used the Sanity's Eclipse and are yet to find anything on the side of Cloud9 on Vega.
Yeah, G only getting a one-man coil on the OD and just breaking it immediately. So he's not stuck in that vicinity, so Weaver free to run around and do as he pleases. The Tomb got placed in quite a good spot, but got killed immediately, the wall only catching two. So like you said, a lot of big ults used, but nobody falls. So Vega are going to be happy with this, as they can just get these lands and move over to Roshan to finish it off.
And with all those big ults down, just head over towards Roche. They've got the power to take it down pretty quickly, and with C9, like you said, throwing all those ults, it just doesn't seem like they'd want to come back in on a fight by the Roche pit.
Having the Laundry gonna take it, so having the Crystalist now as well, going for the Daedalus. Vega probably will be looking to end the game with this Aegis. Extremely strong right now. Their lanes are kind of pushing in though, so can't just run down mid right now. Or can they? None of Cloud9 are pushing out these lanes. Not really split pushing much right now, as Ace looks like he wants to make a move down to bottom to force them to come back, or maybe even wrap around on them. Yeah, it's gonna start split pushing, as Vega looks like they want to take racks or end the game right here, right now.
Don't think Ace has enough to really force back the entire hand of Vega, especially with the Aegis. I feel like they'll be a little bit hesitant to come back. They know they can take a fight, and if they know Ace is down there, they know they've got the upper hand. So Rise is going to go in with the Glimmer Cape. There's a Sentry Ward as the tower goes down mid. Nobody coming around the bend just yet. Ace is coming through. Seema might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the Alpha Wolf. Ditya getting hit up a little bit, but nothing too crazy from either side just yet.
Now as they continue to chip away, Rise gets a Sentry down and dewards that ward, so absolutely huge. Oh, Ditya almost with the swap back in, but it's not quite.
Ditya actually going to get disrupted. Ace on the back end, but Ace is immediately going to get hit by a magic missile. He's under the Sentry Ward. There's a big 5-man vacuum wall, but Ace isn't going to survive it. They've brought down the Aegis of the Lone Druid already. Swap back into the fight is Baby Knight, who's going to have to imprison himself. Ditya getting very low despite having that BKB up, and now Baby Knight's going to have to back off just a little bit. There's the Illusory Orb forward. Rooted up is Baby Knight. He's getting very low. He'll be the next to fall on Cloud9. They've lost 3, and he's going to immediately buy back to try and defend this Rax, but he's already lost the range Rax. He's going to TP in, trying to move forward. Maybe look for something big, as he does have that Sanity's Eclipse, so he's going to have to steal a little bit of intelligence before he does do so. Just the Joe, he's going to be slowed up in a little bit of trouble as that bear's moving in on him. A hard defense from Cloud9. Vega throwing everything they have at him.
Yeah, the coil coming back up in 15 seconds as well, so if they do choose to stick around, we'll have that. But the Weaver coming back up, and the OD has bought back. Needs to risk giving them comeback gold. Opening kills, I'm just going to back up, as they have lost the Aegis, and Mag pretty close to finish off that Daedalus, so going to up his damage output quite a bit.
Especially with what happened last game, where you were up 20,000 gold, I feel like you'd be a little bit hesitant to go in and go all in towards this middle Rax. now without the Aegis.
I really like the itemization from Cloud9 supports, getting this Vlad's, getting a medallion, all this minus armor is. He chose to go for the Deso on Mag and not the typical Mjolnir that you go for on the range low druid, so building a whole bunch of armor items, going for the Shivas on OD, almost there, has the Mystic Staff, going for the Crimson Guard on Darkseer, like some unusual item decisions, but really trying their best to limit the range lone druid's damage output and stall for time, because once they get to a certain point, this OD and Weaver are just going to be too strong, combined with the Bloodlust, control, this Demonic Purge, and he's just been disrupting the Venge every single fight with his Vengeance aura and sticking the illusions onto random support, so the SD having a big impact, it's always disrupting the Yara, and continue to try and stall for time. When they get these big armor items up, have the Shivas, Weaver gets a few more damage items. Win one team fight, and this game can turn very, very quickly.
And we've, like I've said, we've seen it before, i.e. last game. Well, Vega very knowledgeable on what it is to throw in recent history, and they don't want to have that happen again, especially when they have a chance to qualify for the next phase.
Ace may get caught here. They're all set up on the hill, may try for a swap into a stun. Pull him up, we'll have to see. They don't have any vision of him right now though, so...
Nico's gonna lead the charge though. And they're not gonna spot him just yet. Here comes the boost of travel in from G, so everybody's here on the side of Vega. Ace does get the opportunity to back off.
Oh. Noya very, very close to getting caught, just barely gets out of range. The extra movement speed for Bloodlust and those Tranquil Boots keeps him alive there.
They keep placing the sentry ward for the side of Vega right down by these on the bottom end of the stairs, and that's perfect because Ace every single time has tried to come through behind them. This time it doesn't seem to go that way. Tombstone's gonna be dropped, and Ace taking a lot of damage from Mag. They're gonna force out that ulti. He's gonna be feared up. They're still looking to grab this rack. There's the glyph coming in. G's got the Dream Coil out on 2. There's the swap coming in from Diggerod. He's gonna snap that Dream Coil. He's gonna get the disruption as well as the 4-man vacuum wall. Gonna come in from Hesta Joe as the Sanity's Eclipse is dropped onto Vega. Still nobody dead. Diggerod with the BKB. He's gonna be the first one to fall in this fight. And now Ace, he's gonna be looking for stragglers. Trying to go in on Sima, who's got that shallow grave. Seneko might be in a little bit of trouble. There is the Astral Imprisonment to keep him around. He will fall. Seneko goes down to Baby Knight, so they do hold again. Cloud9, they lose their racks, but they kind of take that fight with no casualties.
Yeah, this Crimson Guard having a huge impact fight after fight after fight. It makes all their teams so tanky and hard to bring down.
Just lasting a really, really long time. Even these squishy heroes like the Shadow Demon with the Glimmer Cape kiting around. Nobody on Dire falling. As the Shivas and one creep now on Baby Knight as well, so it's going to get harder and harder for Vega to take down these heroes, even though they do have this super nice combo of the coil into the swap, so makes it very hard for Cloud9 to break bases. You can always just stun them for 4 seconds at your tier 3s anytime they try, or at your tier 4s anytime they try and push the level 3 swap. So they definitely have some nice ways to pick people off, but getting tankier on Cloud9 and their heroes, if even or even close on farm, will scale better, so it has to be very careful.
To me, it seems like maybe Vega missed their timing. They were up by so much, and they kind of seem to sit back a little bit, and it's starting to hurt them. Have they sat back too much where we might see a repeat of Game 2, Cloud9 coming back?
I don't think they ever chose to sit and just not fight whenever they were strong, just trying to get lanes out, constantly trying to find these heroes. So I think it's more of Cloud9 just doing a good job of pushing out these lanes, always being all around the map, forcing them to rotate, to not be in the places they want to be. But Vega, speaking of making moves, are smoked up, running to top lane, they know where they are. All Cloud9 here, so may find a big fight. See if Hesta Joe can continue to hit these big back walls, as that's been crucial in
Yara's gonna try and lead the charge. He gets the disruption out on Yara. But now there's another 3-man vacuum. The wall a little bit late. The tombstone is dropped. You're going to be helped by that shallow grave for the time being. They've got the dream coil out onto Baby Knight, swapped again to be popped out of it. Nobody dead just yet. Hesta Joe getting very low. Waning Rift is there, but they've already lost the Lone Druid. He's down for 25 seconds. Hesta Joe very low. They're going to lose Dit Yara. They've lost the third in Sema, and they've given up 9 on the side of Cloud9 as they finish off Seneko. So C9 again. They did it in game 2, and they're doing it in game 3. They have turned this game completely around, and it looks as though it is in their favor now.
Why does 100 have a 25-second respawn timer at level 21?
Minus 50 seconds respawn time. It's that amazing talent.
It's so clowny.
Oh, Baby
Yeah, it
got
was a really-
Oh, sorry. You go.
Yeah, they're all just so tanky. Like, they're constantly dishing out these right clicks, but they get on top of this Lone Druid, and he has the BKB, but he's just getting right clicked by the Weaver getting on top of him, and just can't really deal with them. Once this Weaver is getting close to net worth, and now the Weaver only 2k trailing the Lone Druid, so not really the place you want to be as a Lone Druid behind the more mobile cores like the Weaver that can just sort of get on top of you and trade hits better.
Don't know if Seneko wants to be in that spot right now, but they do get the Dream Coil out on 2. There's the Tombstone. Noya gonna just try and TP out. He's gonna get feared out of that TP, and now they've got the Waning Rift out on 2, and they're gonna lose both Noya and Ace. Interesting play from C9 to stick around, and Vega, they make it worth their while grabbing both Noya and Ace.
Yeah, stuck around just a little bit too long, find a couple pickoffs, and with that, looks like they're gonna try and run down mid, maybe run up the top Rex, force a buyback out of the Weaver. It'd be huge. The day less than 200 gold on mag, so.
Unfortunately, Ace does not have the luxury of minus 50-second respawn time.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Ditchera, after a pretty good early start being the most farmed hero in the game for quite a while, has fallen quite far behind on net worth. Only 13k compared to 13 and 17 of the Weaver and OD, so going for that Hurricane Pike next, but has had this Yasha BKB HOD for quite a while. Slowly starting to stagnate, and Venge not a hero that can have a super huge impact as a core unless she has a lot of items. Especially in a game like this where there's so many physical mitigation items like the Guardian Greaves now as well, and Hesta Joe.
So Cloud9, they've cut this lead. It used to be around 12,500, and now it's all the way down to 5. Vega going to try and go for this Roche. No contest from Cloud9, and they will pick up the Aegis on Mag.
Has the Daedalus now just completed? Looks like Noya is going to be building up towards that AC slowly but surely as well, so just continuing to build up all these armor items, as much physical mitigation as possible from this Lone Druid and Venge. They can survive long enough to slowly build up those int stacks, get the Weaver to scatter around, and get as many right clicks in as he can. As, like we said earlier in the game, it's very, very hard for Vega to take down this Weaver unless he's heavily out of position. It's a little bit easier now that G has the Hex, so another means to try and take some of these fights.
Ace looking towards level 23. We take a look over at Baby Knight. He's level 21. The talents he's picked up is the 15 intel, 5 armor, 250 mana. What do you think he's going to take on the level 25 talent? The spell amp or the increased duration on the Arcane Orb?
I think most likely the duration. The spell amp isn't super useful. It could be good versus the Lone Druid, as he does have such little int, so it could do even more and, you know, get to that point where you actually can one-shot him. But most of the time you take the 60-second Orb Steal, especially in these later game fights that can last quite a long time. Whereas you hit the as you take a fight and then run to the base, can be really, really good for hitting the buildings as you actually do some physical damage with all of that int built up.
Ooh, they're gonna get the Dream Coil on Hesta Joe, then swap him back. He's immediately gonna be melted by the side of Vega. They get the disruption out on 1, so maybe Cloud9 they look to fight as Dit Yara can be able to get Poor Staffed out and retreat.
Man, Rise always has the disruption onto the Venge. Like every single fight, just constantly getting the disruption on and forcing the Venge back, just sticking him on him, so it's very, very hard for him to turn and fight. If he's just always got these illusions just sitting there pummeling him, do 150% of the hero's damage if both illusions are hitting. So you're always having to just run around, not able to sit and lock onto a target.
trying to deter Ace from really pushing up top. He does get the Waning Rift off, but meanwhile, Vega, they're just going to try and destroy this tier 3 bottom, and they will do so. There's the disruption coming out. Tombstone is dropped by Seneko. They might be looking to go all in here for the side of Vega with this Aegis. And Baby Knight tried to go in with that Shivas, but he's going to get Hurricane Pike back. He's going to get swapped in. Baby Knight's going to go down immediately. There's a 4-man back in wall with the Guardian Greaves getting popped on the side of Vega. The immediate buyback from Baby Knight coming in is Rise. He's just going to try and slow down the side of Vega. Gets the disruption out again on Digura. And now moving in on the back end is C9. Noya, 3-man Dream Coil. With a little illusion there. Everybody's going to get stunned up. There's the illusory orb coming in. Baby Knight's going to fall again. He's just fought back. They've lost 2 on the side of Cloud9. Vega trying to finish off this game. They're going to Hurricane Pike themselves forward. And now they've lost another in Ace. Hesta Joe's going to try and surge out. Noya is here. He's going to get stunned up. Digura, he's going to be with that Midas armor. Going to get hit by the Ignite and the Fire Blast. And now there's the buyback from Ace. But Noya is going to be the next one to fall. They finally brought down the Illusion. So no Shallow Grave for the side of Vega. They will finally pop that Aegis. Seneko in a little bit of trouble. Ace doing a lot of damage. He's going to get Ghost after. He's going to be able to survive for a little bit longer. Rooted up is Ace. He's going to have to use that time lapse. And now they've got the Undying dead as well as Digura on the bench, who doesn't have buyback for another 72 seconds. Mag might be in a little bit of trouble. He's up against Digura. You miss on the back end. Rise falling. G is going to try and get out. He's using that TP. Maybe they can find him. Ooh, just a second too late on the disruption. But Mag, he's getting chased down by both Ace and Hesta Joe. They're trying to chase him down with the Ion Shell. Ace going to use that Shikuchi. He's going to Hurricane Pike himself forward. There's the form thrown out. And now it looks as though Mag is trying to juke out Ace, Rise, and Hesta Joe. But when he stops the TP, the juking stops and he will fall. And 4 end up going down on the side of Vega Squadron as we take a look at this team fight. Not going to give us everything. It's just going to give us the death by Mag. And with that, C9... it looked like for a split second it was over. Baby Knight, he went down, he bought back, and immediately fell again. But C9 semi-hold. Yes. Oh, voice crack. Wow. I guess.
Yeah, they lose the range racks. They're forced to buy back on 3 heroes, both of their cores, as well as Rise. They do manage to hold that wall, having a huge impact. It didn't seem like it did initially, but those illusions just sort of marching forward and chunking down everybody. These wall illusions, the disruption illusions from the Venge, just slowly whittling everyone down, killing all the supporting cast of Vega, and then saving Mag for last, who's almost has the Satanic now. But yeah, very, very good fight for Vega. Dying twice and buying back, so massively stunting Baby Knight's growth in items. Down to 14k where he was above most of the other heroes.
He was going to fall. Meanwhile, Rise just get the disruption on Mag. He's here with Noyan. He's going to get the Demonic Purge as well as the Soul Catcher. Mag might be in a little bit of trouble. He finally gets swapped out by Digura. Very powerful. There's the Sanity's Eclipse with the vacuum wall on Digura. He's the second one to fall. C9 they look to be doing it. Seneko's going to try and get out, but he gets stunned as well as the Astral Imprisonment. They drop the Tombstone down, but it's going to be taken out by Cloud9. They will finally grab Seneko, and 3 are dead again as the Dream Coil does come out on 3 on the side of C9. But now it's just Mag, and it is just G on the side of Vega. They do have buyback on both the Venge, Digura, as well as Seneko on the Undying. So they're going to look to get a couple of towers of their own on the side of Cloud9.
Yep. I forgot to mention this last fight, that super nice coil into the Savage Roar combo, popping the coil on all 3 of them. It's a really cool combo that you can do, and they did it perfectly. Got on 3 heroes and got them that range tracks and forced out a couple of the buybacks because of that super nice combo. But Seneko has to buy back now, as you said. They do sort of get chased down, caught out of position one by one, and lose a few heroes. It looks like they may lose their tier 3 or at least a lot of damage. Buy back down on Seneko, so a little bit of a gold boost for Cloud9, and definitely how they want things to go from now on.
Yeah, they are really trying to bring it back to even. They had it so close at 5,000 net worth. Then it dropped. It went right back up to 15,000 after that fight bottom. But they brought it back down to 10 again, and Cloud9, never say never with them. They do not want to give up. They don't want to GG out. They want to win. They want to qualify for the next phase, and they are giving it their all in this game 3.
Yeah, with all these net worth swings, the consistency of their predecessor may be lingering. Vega smoking up, running up this hill. It's a really good place for Cloud9 to meet. So have a DD on Ace as well. This is not what you want to do.
Mag might be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to use that Hurricane Pike to get out. G is going to come in with the boost travel on the bear, but he gets stunned up immediately. Seneca's going to have to use that ult. There's the Dream Coil out on Ace, and he's going to get soul ripped. And now on the back end, they've got the wall down. Nobody's dead just yet. Diyarad's going to use that swap and use that Wave of Terror out on Ace. Ace might be in a little bit of trouble. Ace is going to fall. He's down for 117 seconds, but G is dead as well as Seema. Baby Knight just trying to fight, bring down Mag. He's going to Astro imprison himself as he does not have Sanity's Eclipse for another 27 seconds. He's trying to find his way out. Seneco's going to use that Ghost Scepter coming over his rise. He's going to get the disruption out on Dityara, but now Baby Knight's going to fall. It's 2 cores dead on the side of Cloud9. They're still trying to move in. They brought down Dityara. Seneco might be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be hexed up, and he's going to fall. 4 dead on the side of Vega, but they do lose Baby Knight and Ace.
Yeah, the D paying in massive dividends as G had the Refresher Orb, wasn't able to get his second coil off, so he got then just obliterated by the Weaver with the DD. Got 3-shot, wasn't able to pop his spaceship and live, but buying back on both the cores. They know they don't have buybacks in Weaver and OD. Vega are trying to end the game right now as they know that the game is slowly slipping out of their grasp with some of these fights, and they want it to be over. There they go.
And they're going to push down mid. G's going to have 2 Dream Coils here with the Refresher not on cooldown. And they're going to look to finish it despite not having Seema or Seneca.
35 seconds on OD, they may be able to do this.
Now there's a lot of time with no
His
C9.
middle tower is under attack.
Or with no Baby Knight and Ace. So they're going to go after these tier 4s. It's going to get glitched up immediately. There's the Dream Coil out on 2. Not popped on either side, but this Hesta Joe is going to get very low. There's the Guardian Greaves. Hesta Joe in a whole bunch of trouble. He's going to get the vacuum off, but it's not going to stop anything. He does have buyback. And G coming in. G trying to get a kill out on to this Shadow Demon, and he will find a kill in Rise. Now Noya just trying to run at Vega, trying to slow them up as they do get Baby Knight back in 2 seconds and Ace in 10. So they're just trying to extend their time. There's the second Dream Coil out on Noya. And now coming in is Baby Knight. Baby Knight's going to use that Sanity's Eclipse and will bring down Dityara. So they hold both tier 4s. Seema might be in a little bit of trouble. Seema is right in the eyes of Baby Knight. And there's the Astral Imprisonment with the Poison Touch. There's the Lotus Orb coming out from Noya. Noya's going to use that Fire Blast to hit onto Seema. Seema just extending his time. There is the Shallow Grave, but he's just extending the inevitable as Noya, Baby Knight, and Ace are all here. And they have held their tier 4s.
Yeah, I think it may have been better for them to just try and hit the throne. Instead, they chased around some heroes. They bought quite a bit of time as it took them forever to kill all 3 of them. I think it took a lot longer than expected to kill Hesta Joe, and now Dityara with no buyback, and Odie with a few instacks as well. So, gonna check Roshan. It's up in like 2 seconds. They just missed it.
And they're gonna miss this Roche coming up, something both teams could desperately use right now. And C9, and they're going to look to push as they've already got this top tower and set of racks. Look at that, illusory orb speed.
Yeah, they got a rocket ship, illusory orb, a rocket ship Weaver. Everybody's so fast.
Illusory orb comes in, maybe trying to get to the back lines of Cloud9, and Shadow Demon as well as Hesta Joe are going to come in just a moment as they are a little bit far back on the other side of the river, and maybe Cloud9 back off and look to grab this shrine as well as Roche as they are going to spot it.
Yeah, the Lone Druid Bear is starting to become useless. It's just so easy to kill. The Odie kills it 5 or 6 shots with all that pure damage. The Weaver shreds it as well. His massive DPS. He has the Diffusal and now almost the Lincolns as well. So the Hex is going to be not near as useful. With the BKB and the Lincolns, the only real way they have to kill him is a coil, and he works it somehow. So with the Aegis on Baby Knight and almost this Lincolns on Ace, Cloud9 are in a very good spot. Even 1.5 racks down. Have the racks of their own, so technically only a half racks down. And
there's no buyback. No buyback on anybody on the side of Vega again, and that's how they kind of fell off last game. They had no buybacks, fought at the Roche pit, and then they lost that fight, and that was just it. So Cloud9 with the Aegis in hand might look to put the pressure on Vega and be the ones with the aggression.
Yep. I like on top of all of this armor, all these armor items they're building, you get the Ice Ogre creep as well from the HOD, so armoring up everyone as well, just building up as much armor as they can. The lowest armor anyone has on Cloud9 is the Shadow Demon with 11 armor. Everyone else like around 30. So very, very hard for Vega to take down these heroes, as almost all their damage is physical, and Ditira has the Hurricane Pike, but hasn't really progressed past that in a long time.
Ace leading the charge for Cloud9 mid, and this could be the last stand for either side. I'd say that for mostly Vega, as Cloud9, they do have the buybacks available. Cloud9, they seem to be the ones who are putting on the aggression for what seems like the first time this game, as they've been defending for almost 50 minutes now. So they will get that tier 3, and now they might look towards Rax, try and bait Vega into a fight they don't want to take.
Yep, then they take down the tier 3, and he said not many buybacks, only like you said, none on Vega, but Cloud9 doesn't know that. Pushing in all of these lanes. The Weaver still has saving for buyback, but finishing up that Lincoln's as well, so has enough gold for it. It's gonna be extremely hard to take down. And while trapped in their base, they're just gonna get slowly out farms. Hesta Joe has the Hex, like we talked about before. One of those crucial fights, and has 4k gold on top of that as well, so maybe going for another Shiva's, maybe for a refresher, or maybe an Ags even, we'll have to see. But continue to scale up, as Noya heading for a Hex as well. Aghanim's almost on Rise, a lot of big items coming up, Octarine coming on Baby Knight, so while as Vega trapped in their base, they're not really building up to anything at all.
Yeah, Cloud9 continue to keep the pressure on. That top lane is just a problem for Vega. And Cloud9 with the Aegis, they'll look and wait for their opportunity to go in and try and win this fight and win the game, ultimately.
I really worry for this Vengeful Spirit. She's constantly getting disrupted in these fights and just never really has the time to attack anyone, as Odie and Weaver locking onto her, forcing her to BKB extremely early in these fights, never really having a huge impact because of all these armor items. Can't stress enough how much of an impact these item decisions are making in these fights.
Oh, Ace just leading the charge with his team right behind him. Vega just trying to keep them back and hope they can hold on to this Rax, but it's slowly getting chipped away. Bear will fall, and now Baby Knight just blinks in with the Sheep. He's gonna get the Hex down. There's the Sanity's Eclipse. Ditira already out of the fight. He's got no buyback. There's the Shallow Grave used by Steam. He's gonna try and keep himself alive for a little bit longer. There's a Fate Shift used by this Puck G, and Seneko looks as though he's gonna be the next one to go down, and he will, as C9 have taken 2 and lost none and push back the rest of Vega Squad. That they'll be able to take this set of Racks. They head towards bottom. They're looking for a tier 3 bottom, as well as these mega creeps. They're looking to finish it off and win this series 2-1.
Yeah, like you said, no buybacks, no buyback in Ditira, no buyback in Seneko. Healing up, maybe looking for a last stand, but no coils on Puck. Only gets the Hex and his normal spells, and not really enough to force them off the base. The Aegis still up on Baby Knight.
There's the Hex coming through, and there's the Shallow Grave used by Seema. Rise is going to push them back even more. Gene a little bit of trouble. There's the Lotus Orb used by Rise, and Baby Knight, he just continues to work on forward. Nobody really can stop Cloud9 at where they're at right now, and they've got themselves Mega Creeps. They've taken down this tier 4, going in with a Waning Rift, and then he's going to Uzuri Orb out. Ace is getting a little bit low, but he is still have quite a bit of health, despite being at half. Hex out, they're looking for more. Hesta Joe's gonna go in. There's the Dream Coil out on 3. There's the Illusory Orb forward with the Waning Rift. They're trying to get the vacuum. They're trying to get something back, trying to hit away at Hesta Joe. He's not gonna find anything. He's gonna get that Hurricane Pike back into the base, and they've still only got 3 heroes alive. 2 are dead on the side of Vega. They can't really defend it. Their Ancient's going down. They're looking to get this game on the side of Cloud9. They're trying to push it back on the side of Vega. Seema going in. Baby Knight might be in a little bit of trouble. He might fall. He's gonna lose that Aegis, but still Vega, they're in a whole bunch of trouble. They've lost Mag. They've lost G. Or they've just about lost G. He stays alive as Seema is the one who goes down, and then it's going to be Ditira to fall. They'll take this Ancient, and Cloud9 will come back again to win this series 2-1. Woo. Quite a victory both times for Cloud9. They were down 1-0 in the series, down 20k gold in the second game, came back there, down 15,000 gold in this third game. They don't care. They just win it all. They get it 2-1. They move on to the next phase. Wow. that's it from me, your caster, BCop, at BCop92 on Twitter. Again, not BCop. Close, but not. It's at BKOP92 on Twitter. I'm here joined by the ever great CCNC on Twitter. He is at CCNC Dota 2. Follow us. We'll be casting more eventually. If you want to see more, tell Beyond the Summit. Come on, guys. And thanks for watching. We appreciate it, and we'll see you guys later.